Happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. We took a walk at Retzer. It's a county park in Waukesha. It's still open for now, so I recommend it. It was beautiful right now. Lots of greenery. And they have a super pretty creek that runs under the boardwalks, and it wasn't too busy. So if you guys are looking for something to do, I would definitely recommend checking that place out. So this week, what we're going to do is we're going to write haiku poems, which I know we did a couple years ago, so some of you might have experience with this type of poem. And it's a Japanese form of poetry. It has 3 lines, and it does not rhyme. So the pattern in the poem comes from the syllables. The first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7, and then the third line has 5 syllables again. For most haiku are written about nature, the seasons. It really seeks to capture a moment, like the feeling of a moment with picture words. So you want to kind of communicate the emotion behind the moment, just using imagery. Modern haiku, and especially English haiku, does not have to be about nature. But that's some of the easier poems to write, because I think we all kind of connect with the outdoors and with nature. So we're going to write about 2 different topics. So I want you guys to warm up with writing a haiku about spring, and then write a haiku about social distancing. And you can write more than one. Once I wrote some sample haikus for class. For the rest of the day, I kind of was thinking of different haikus and writing them down as I went throughout the day. So the first thing you want to do for spring is you want to pick an object that kind of represents spring, or an experience that you had in spring. So for myself, I have some daffodils coming up in the garden. So I picked daffodils. So you want to write down, not in the haiku format. You just want to write down what you picture in your mind when you think of the daffodil. So not just a general description of a daffodil, but actually picture a moment like in the life of a daffodil. So this is what I came up with when I sat down and wrote down things about a daffodil. A yellow daffodil is growing in a garden bed. The garden bed is still full of brown, decaying leaves from last fall. The bright green of the stalk and the sunny yellow of the bloom contrast with all the drab colors around it. The heavy blossom of the daffodil bobs up and down cheerily in the cool spring breeze. So that was my description that I thought of. So now I want to look at my description and kind of pull out some of the feeling behind the moment. And for me, what struck me was the contrast. So you have the contrast of the color against the deadness of residual winter still in the garden, lingering in the garden. So when I started to write my haiku, which I'm going to read you my haiku first, and then I'm going to go through a few tips about it. So this is the haiku that I wrote after writing my description about daffodils. All right, here goes. So a miniature sun rises in my drab garden, cheery daffodil. So I kind of tried to accentuate the contrast of, I guess, because in the spring, right, the sun comes out, it brings all the green and colors along with it. And when I was trying to think of words that would express an emotion, you need to count your syllables. So I actually counted my fingers. So a miniature sun, I had 5. So say if I would have done a little sun, that's only 4. So if you find an adjective of a verb you want to use and it's not the right amount of syllables, I would look in a thesaurus, or you could even look online. So if I wanted to use the word disappear, disappear, that's 3 syllables. But if I need a 2-syllable word that means the same thing as disappear, I could use a thesaurus. So I could find the word vanish. So vanish is 2 syllables. Some people like to clap to find the syllables. That's probably how you learn to do it in kindergarten. So you could clap, count on your fingers. Some people tap their chin too. And okay, so that's finding the syllables. Use usually the haiku uses simple words, but vivid words, and you want to try not to repeat yourself. So I'm trying to think of an example. So if you said like a pure white snowflake, that's a little redundant because we already know that snow is white. So you want to use simple words. Try not to repeat yourself. And when you write your haiku, the 3 lines, for English haiku, there's no rules about punctuation or capitalization. So you can add punctuation if it helps out the flow of your poem. If adding a comma helps to give a pause where you need a pause. And then once you write your haiku, make sure to read it out loud to see what the verbal flow of the poem is, and then set it aside and then revisit it in a little bit. Read it again, rewrite it, see if there's a better way that you can capture the image. So what I would love for you guys to do in the comment section of this video, you guys could write your haikus or leave a couple of them, and then everyone from the class and myself, I get to read them. Thank you so much for sending me. Some of you sent me some pictures of the games that you worked on. Those looked really, really good. Lots of great colors, some interesting themes. Thanks for sharing those with me. Let's see. So I just want to make sure I went over everything. Read the email lesson, or at least skim it till you get to the bottom. I put some sample poems too for... Oh my goodness, I think I actually skipped the part. I can't remember, so I'm going to repeat myself if I did. Sorry. I want you guys, I talked about that. So about spring and then social distancing. So write a topic, pick a subtopic about each of those topics. And there's a few sample poems about social distancing in the email, so you can read those. Also, I attached a planning page that you can brainstorm on. And then I also attached a page that just has 3 lines on it, if you want to write your haiku on that page. And then there's also a pretty long document, but it has a lot of great details on how to write a haiku and what the format of a haiku is. It also has some more sample haikus in it, so it's just a PDF. So you could use that as well if you want to get some more details. But once again, feel free to always email me your work, and post your poems in the comment section. I will definitely read them. And if you have any questions, please email me. So I hope you have fun. I had a lot of fun writing these. I think it's a type of poetry that anyone can write. It's simple. It uses imagery. I know you guys are super creative, so you'll come up with some great things. All right, I hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you soon.